Oh, goodness. Compared to the first game, I don't think we were aggressive enough on defense. I think we missed a ton of assignments that we didn't in the first game against them. We obviously guard teams different ways. We have different, whether it's we don't let them use a ball screen, we let them use it, we go over, we go under, we switch things, different things like that. And we had a specific game plan for Oklahoma, and I think there were times where we just didn't execute that. Whether it was a mental mistake, whether we were fatigued on the court physically, and you could definitely see it down the stretch that we just did not lock in and we didn't execute our game plan and what the coaches wanted us to do out there.
Just talk about you playing down the stretch with 4 fouls, and you've had to do that a couple times. Just how tough is that, maybe, and how were you able to make it work?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know for a little bit that I had 4 because usually they kind of freak out a little and take me out, and they weren't doing that. So I kind of looked over to the sideline and had to make sure. I think for me, it's just not, obviously I take a ton of charges. I kind of just stopped doing that when I have 4. I just got to body them up, and obviously I'm a lot stronger than a lot of players, so I just have to be more physical than them instead of trying to get the charge call and it obviously being a foul on me and then I'd be out.
Caitlin, do you think that was similar? I mean, Liz Scott had not done much until late there in the fourth quarter. Is that where kind of the game turned a little bit? Y'all had a double-digit lead.
I don't think it turned. I think, sorry, Jane, we did have turnovers. It obviously wasn't just her. We had turnovers. It wasn't just Liz Scott. We saved the ball on bounds a couple of times when we shouldn't have. When we were inbounding the ball, weren't having the right person inbound it. When we were catching it, we were trying to dribble right away instead of just holding it, and the game could have been over with. It was just certain things where, we let, kind of the game almost, I guess, get to us. We weren't as calm as we usually would be in the past. Obviously, we had a tight game against Kansas. We've had tight games before where we've had to hold it, make some free throws at the end, and then we end up winning, and we just didn't execute that at the end of the game.
Jaden, sorry, I got to ask about your first day. You guys have not had much trouble against presses this year, but it seemed like y'all got a little flustered with OU there in the fourth quarter in particular.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I don't know what else to say. We didn't take care of the ball. I didn't take care of the ball, especially in crunch time. I wouldn't really say they got me sped up or anything, or us. I just think it was just, I don't know, maybe a lack of focus.
Jaden, you had 14 of the team's 25 assists. It's a career high for you. You've led the team in assists over half the games this year. Just talk about how you see the floor and get your teammates their shot so well.
I feel like my sole purpose on the floor as a point guard is to set my team up for success. That's something I take a lot of passion in. I can score 0 points. I quite frankly don't really care. I just need to do what's best for the team. And Bickle was on fire. Say caught on fire. I think in Bugs, I think just getting them the ball is when we're the best. And, yeah, I don't know. I take a lot of pride in that one. I need to take a little more pride in not turning the ball over, though.
Caitlin, how do you kind of put this one behind you, knowing that you got to go back on the road against a team that beat you here in the first round?
Well, like we always say, a loss isn't a loss. It's a chance for us to learn, and I think obviously OSU's pretty similar this year. They're very different than what they've been in the past, and I think they have some similarities to OU. So if I'm going to be honest, I think for us it's a huge prep game for us. We're about to face a team that shot really well against us last time, and we're going to get to rematch them. Obviously, OU is an incredible shooting team. We saw it out there tonight. But I think for us it's just going home, watching this film, getting in with the coaches, watching this film, and wipe it away. We met after the game, and that's exactly what Coach Nikki said. She wasn't like, oh, let's dwell on it. No. You're going to watch the game, we're going to learn from it, and we're going to move forward and become better for it, because this one game isn't going to define us. We have so many more left in us, and so we just got to get better.
Caitlin, we talked about Jaden's 14 assists. You were 10 for 10 from the line. Did you just feel like every time you were going up there, you were going to drill it?
Yeah, I just be shooting. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. We shoot 200. We have to make 200 free throws a week as posts. Take a lot of pride in that. I usually try to go 100 for 100 every time I'm going in there. It's just a shot. It's mental. You just got to shoot it. It goes in like every other shot, hopefully.
Jaden, is anything going to change in the next couple days regarding rest and recovery, a little bit of extra added minutes tonight? I mean, is it going to change anything? Or
We're in season. You know, you just got to take care of your body. We have an off day tomorrow. Come in, get treatment, whatever our trainer needs us to do, and be ready for the next one.
Anything else?
Kaylin, I guess maybe y'all have gotten to the point where you just expect it, but double-double for Bugs and 14.17 rebounds. Y'all gotten just where you expect that from her every night?
I mean, we know what we're going to get from her. We know she's going to go to the boards every night. I think it's just there's so many other factors on the court. You know, we absolutely love it. Coach Nikki even touched on it. Obviously, we got a good shot at the end in regular play, and Bugs went up and got a rebound. And that's, you know, you would love for that stuff to go in. You really would. But it's the fact that she's a freshman and she's trying to fight her way in there and do as much as she can. And I think she's just going to be great for us. I think she's having to grow up really, really quickly. So is Bella. And I think for us, we just need to continue to be leaders. You know, I think there were some times out there tonight that you could tell in ways where we weren't executing, and you can tell, like, we need to take care of that. You know, every time we're huddling, we're like, hey, we need to talk, we need to do this because we're missing those assignments. But yeah, you know, we know what we're going to get from her every night.
Thanks, ladies.
I think for me, I tried to challenge him, but I don't think I did enough to get him to believe we were gonna win when the game went to overtime. Like, I could see the fact that that game was won, and you know we found a way to lose it. I mean, we literally found a way to lose the basketball game as opposed to, you know, and I think that even trying to get them to understand that they had 5 minutes to prove that they were the better team because they'd proven for 39 minutes and 46 seconds that they were the better team, you know, but we spread out our mistakes down the stretch, you know, and it probably was a mistake on my part that I didn't use my last timeout when they cut the lead to 3. But we got the ball inbounded to Sarah Andrews, and they had to foul. You know, we needed to cover up. We needed to cover up, and they had to foul. You know, because it was last possession. They're down 3. They got a foul. We go to the foul line, even make 1 or 2. It's a 2-possession game. And I'd had to use a timeout in the first half and 1 in the second. And so I was trying to save one for a play like that last play where we got a wide open shot to win it. So, but hindsight's always 20/20. You know, we made mistakes that we've spent a lot of time trying to coach out of them. Bugs was flying around on the defensive boards all night. I'm so proud of her. And especially considering she played 9 minutes and fouled out when we played at OU. And she was just such a warrior, and she was cramping, and that's why she went out in the first half. And so she was in a little pain. But, you know, when she saved it and threw it directly to them for a layup, I can promise you we have preached over and over and over again against every team we play, but in particular OU. You get the ball in the lane, laying on the floor, you hold that thing until they tie it up. You know, you have a loose ball under the basket, I don't even want to save it under our own basket. I tell them not to save it under our own basket. If they don't see a teammate to pass it to because it's too quick, you've thrown yourself out of bounds, and now it's, you know, whatever end it's on, it usually ends poorly. And she was just making a hustle play. Like, it was instinctual to try to save that ball. She just happened to save it directly under the basket. You know, but it was those key turnovers late. You know, as good as we were executing at the end of the Kansas game and got a lot of positive for that, you know, Jaden didn't go with the flow of Sarah, and they picked off the pass. You know, and so we were winning the battle at turnovers all night. We were winning that points off turnovers until the end. But I feel like we were deflated giving up the lead, you know. And you know, we even tied it up once, but we just didn't have the gas in our tank to get enough stops late. to win. So, yeah.
Nikki, they were getting a lot, and maybe it was, I don't know if it was the defense or what, but they were getting a lot of layups, and they ran some nice plays, but it seemed like they had, I don't know if it was defensive lapses or what, but it seemed like they were getting a lot of layups and stuff in the paint.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't doing a good job meeting on our switches. They're really good at slipping if you don't come together. When we came together, we were really good. When we got tired and assumed switch, we got cut on some. We made a mistake on a switch that gave Lanusa the back screen layup in overtime or late in the fourth, whenever that was. That was supposed to be a switch, and we missed that. So we made some mistakes, but there's a reason they average as many points as they average. They're really, really good offensively. And there's a reason they give up a lot of points, but they're going to put those runs on you, and you have to sustain. And we did everything we needed to do. We did everything we needed to do to win the basketball game, except for make one or two plays in the last minute and a half of the game, and we'd be having a more fun press conference because we did as many mistakes as we made. We made just as many positive, I look at Jaden and I thought she made a ton of mistakes late. And then I looked down and realized she had 14 assists. And that's a really, really good game, 14 assists and 5 turnovers. It was just the cluster of turnovers, or near turnovers that she had in the timing. That was bad. But, she gave us some good stuff, even Jana's little back cut against the out of bounds play, then the layup and one. Like, we had a ton of really good possessions and good possessions defensively, good possessions offensively. We had some bad ones at the wrong time.
Caitlin was clearly been emotional, not when she was in here before. What can you say about how much she feels out there and how much she cares?
Yeah, I can promise you by the time I talk to her tomorrow, she'll have watched this game twice. That's how much she cares. I'll have kids that don't even watch the game until we show it to them on film on Thursday. But Caitlin will have watched it twice. And that's why she's so good. And it's what some of our guys need to understand. Like, there's a reason why Caitlin's good, because she takes her craft seriously. And she doesn't get away with being good because she's faster or stronger or quicker. She's good because she studies and she cares. And she wants to make the right play, and she makes mistakes, and I'm telling you, she'll be the first to own, like, hey, I got cut up by Maddie one time, or I got cut up. Like, she made some defensive mistakes, and we float with her, so she gave up some offensive rebounds because we put her in a help position at times. But she was efficient. She had a couple bad turnovers, just like everybody else. But, she's just a really, really good basketball player that I'm glad that stuck around and is showing our fans that she's more than a kid that can take charges. She can make shots, and she can set people up, and she does a lot of things really, really well. And I can tell you that I got a couple of freshmen that if they'll really, really believe that they have someone next to them that's going to show them the right way to do everything, then they're going to be 10 times better than her when they leave here. But that's their choice, Like, you can't give people heart. You can challenge them. You can want them to be great. You can't give people heart. And that's what Caitlin has. She has a huge heart, and she wants to be great. She wants to win, and she plays for the name on the front of her jersey more than any kid I've probably ever coached.
She committed her fourth foul with, I want to say, like 3 or 4 minutes left in the fourth, and then played all the way through to overtime. I mean, has she earned your trust to just be able to be out there and not foul out?
No. But when you're in that situation, you just got to, roll with her. And if she fouls out, she fouls out. No. Because I played her with 2 the other night, and she picked up a third before halftime. I wanted to kill her. Because she's like, was I just supposed to let her go? Yes. You really should have just let her go. That was at Iowa State. you know? So it's like, I can't, part of me will never get her to turn the page of, like, you're not a role player anymore. You may not be conference player of the week 2 times or 3 times, or like, you might not be that, but you're our MVP. Like, you know, and because of all the things she does and how she gets everyone where they're supposed to be. And I didn't see any quit in her. I didn't see any quit in her in overtime. She got scored on a couple times, but I didn't see any quit in her. And so, no. I mean, you just play her because it's the situationally the right thing to do. But I thought they'd called her 4th foul on her early, and I took her out, and they had called it on Bugs. And so that was a good feeling that she didn't have her 4th foul right there at the beginning of the 4th. But no, she doesn't she doesn't stop competing. So she can't. I can promise you, Nalissa Smith, if she had 3 fouls or 4 fouls and someone was driving the lane at her, it was like, Olay, I'm not picking up my 4th. Like, you know, because she had spent time being the superstar, being the player that, you know, you need on the floor. And that's the transition that I don't know if I'll ever get Kate to make, you know, and there's not much time left. So I'm just going to live with what I got and be grateful for who she is and what she brings to the table.
Nikki, do y'all keep track of the takes, like how many charges she takes?
No, I mean, at this point, it just, it's a lot. I mean, really, her and Bella are the only 2 on our team that take charges. So it wouldn't be, you know, we've got to get, you know, I said this 2 games ago, maybe. I said, we have to get one of our guards, like, to be the Caitlin Bickle version that's going to rotate over there and sacrifice their body and be there. And we don't have that. You know, we're not, we got to be scrappier at times in the guard position. Like, and I say that because my biggest fear all the time is that teams that are second to the floor, and it doesn't mean our kids don't play hard, because I don't want to say, but there's some kids that are just wired to throw their body all over the court and clean up the floor. You know, and it's very hard to teach kids to do that. The fear you have as a coach is when you play a team like OU that's first to the floor, that reaches, scraps, dives, they'll blow your knee out. If you're not first to the floor and they dive at the ball and you're standing there, they're not doing it purposely. I'm not suggesting it's dirty. I'm just saying any team you play that's first to the floor, you're the one that gets hurt. If you are standing there reaching over trying to pick a basketball up, and I've watched it. Angel McCautry, like, we had a championship team in Atlanta my first year. And in August, Mariah Jefferson dove on a loose ball and Angel McCautry blew her knee out. You know, and Mariah Jefferson wasn't doing anything wrong. She just was first to the floor. And so that's why, like, a part of me as a coach is you just keep telling them that because they don't want to do it because it hurts to land on the floor sometimes, you know, but it actually protects you. It's easier to have a bruise than an injury.
How do y'all kind of put this one behind y'all to Oklahoma State?
That is the worst question, and I don't mean that I'm mad at you for asking it, but, you know, it's, you don't get over it. You don't. That's the thing that I don't think if you've never sat behind a microphone, whether it's a big win or a big loss like this, whether it's a close loss, like, look, it's painful to win by 20, but you scrap it and you move on. When you have a game like this that you put your heart and soul into and you feel like you should have won, but you didn't, and you respect your opponent and they made the plays late, and I'm telling you, if I'm Jenny and there's anyone on our league that in a game that you're down 3, that you want to have an open shot, it's Taylor Robertson. You know, there's a reason she's the NCAA's all-time leading three-point shooter. She's just not going to miss that shot. I've seen her for 2 years make that shot over and over and over again, whether it's the game tying or the game winning or the one that puts them up, one with 8 seconds to go. Like, she is just that. She's nails. She is nails. So you don't get over it because the difference in the ending of that game just eats at you. It like eats at your soul. Like you don't sleep, you don't eat. Thankfully I don't drink. And so like you watch it and you watch it and you watch it. And even when you're not watching it, you're replaying it in your head and you're trying to figure out where you went wrong as a coach and how to help your kids be better the next time. But the beauty of coaching is that on Thursday, we get to start preparing for OU. And if we're not motivated to beat them after them coming in here and winning, then we're not the team that I think we're capable of being. And this one hurts because we had a chance to put ourselves, in second alone and have a tiebreaker over them and control our own destiny, And now we need help. We need to control what we can control, but now we need help. And so that part, kind of sucks. But I love my team. I love that we played our butts off for 40 minutes and that's a team that's got a really good 6-year senior and the NCAA's all-time leading three-point shooter and a dynamic Maddie Williams who's potentially a first-round pick in the WNBA. And they're hard to guard. They're hard to guard. Thank you.